So tonight we're supposed to have Reverend Vini, Ravetali, well-known community member, doing some great work in the community. So we should be able to share an interview that was done with her last week. So we're hoping we can share that. And then we also will be talking about the Friends for Fiji fundraiser that Usaia Moli is involved in. So he's there in Suva, working in the Suva to Nosori corridor. Bula, Odolivana Justice, I hope I'm saying that correctly, listening in from Sydney. And Marlon Bula must be, I don't know, from Steve. Good to see you on here, Steve. But yes, so then we shall have Usaia speaking. We've got an interview with him as well, but he's also online. So if you haven't heard of that project, you can head to the Friends for Fiji Facebook page, doing some great work on the ground there with our families there in the Suva to Nosori corridor. But hope everyone's doing well. Even though we were here a week ago, it feels like so long because so much is happening. And I guess everyone here in Sydney is in lockdown and things, changes every day. But some people, are doing well that are not here in Sydney, out of Sydney, in other states and in Fiji as well. I hope you're doing well wherever you're listening in from. But we're just going to try and find the interview. Bulata Uli, thank you so much from the Ratuman community. Thank you for joining in. But yeah, so I think Sevu's logging back on there.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Sevu, I can hear you, yes.
Great. So are we ready for the interview?
Yes. And Bula to Mosese as well, and congratulations to Mosese and Natalie up in Queensland. Beautiful blessings. Oh, and Mal. Kia ora to Mal from the New South Wales Council that's logging in as well. So, Sev, yes, if that video.
Okay.
Yes, I hear you, Seth Max. We're all over this lockdown. And Sevu, can you tell Scott to open up? Seth is asking. Sev will do his best. Open the borders, Sev. Come on, you can do it.
I'm going to try and put the clip on. Yes?
Yes. Okay.
So just to let everybody know.
We'd all love the borders to open.
Sorry.
Over to you.
Okay, so this is a conversation that I had with the Reverend Vini Ravetali, and she's a senior pastor in the Fijian Uniting Church, and she's also an elder in her community. So it was great to have the chance to have a conversation with her. So we're just going to put that on for you, and then we'll have a conversation afterwards. I would like to now introduce you to Reverend Ravetali. Nisambulevinaka Tautala.
Bulevinaka Sevu, it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And just for our viewers out there, we will be also conversing in our Fijian language. So to make sure that we can also communicate the messages right across our viewership this evening. So firstly, Tautala, for those that are listening in this evening that may not know you, would you mind just letting us know a little bit about your work?
Vinaka, I am currently in placement at the MLC school in Burwood as their chaplain, but I, not only as a chaplain, but I also teach religious education in the school. MLC School is actually an independent school for girls from pre-K to year 12. And not only I am the senior chaplain at MLC School, I'm also the chairperson of Sydney Presbytery of the Uniting Church. And Sydney Presbytery is within the New South Wales and ACT Synod, which is an oversight body of about 60 congregations, community agencies, 2 big private schools, and a handful of faith communities that is within the presbytery. I'm also the vice chair of the Assembly, Fiji National Conference, and do a lot of work too for the Pacific Island communities in New South Wales.
Thank you so much. Wow. I just feel overwhelmed by the amount of work that you must be currently conducting. So we're very thankful that you would make the time to be with us here this evening. So the first question I wanted to ask was, in our current lockdown in Sydney, what are you experiencing with members of our community?
Sevu, sebarang new Somanataro, I wonder if I may just do my greetings with our community. Ni sambulabi na kana turangan na marama kadorbo na ngoneleo kikemni na ngone ni sematiko mayenekab ni kuo. Au ni taka ni do makabuli ng pula kenang Ravetali na be sa Australia kapakakina na be sa buru-bure so o ni na sematiko may kinanekab ni kuo. Nabuko ni Beitalano, nabuko na ni Tarongiti ko na taro na po sa pagka Peritania o Kreme na po sa tinyo sana sumutapang talangay na po sa pagka Peritania. And so in the current lockdown in Sydney, what I have experienced with our Fijian communities that I've engaged with is how far and how well they've adjusted their lifestyle to cope with the challenges of COVID. Especially when it comes to matters of faith. Churches have found new ways of doing church online to the point now where it's almost become a norm, and they're enjoying the simplicity of it. Every church meetings and programs have also adopted the high use of technology. As communal people, one of the difficulties that we had to get used to was the non-gathering. Sambon ren din na mendako ni sota se sosongo ni batang balatania induang ana tikin lebu se tikilebu ni nondambula. And I believe this second time round with the new variant, sabaka mesaya lumatua taki na bekai puno titiko bekenda na leoni bonua. And I believe most of us have become vigilant to the announcements and warnings and trying hard to comply. And that's commendable, but I would like to encourage all Fijians to please comply as requested of us.
Right. Thank you so much, Vini. And what are some of these challenges that our community is facing that you have identified?
Yeah. Look, there's a good number of our community members that works in the aged care industry, for example, mostly women. And they would have already been vaccinated because of the nature of their work. Now, this would also be the same for some of our elderly, as in some of my pastoral visits and conversations in our wider community with our matuas, as we call them, confirms that they have received their vaccination.
Right.
Recently with other classified industries such as constructions and soon hospitality plus others, most of our people, I believe, who are employed in these industries will be vaccinated, if not already. as we already hear, younger people are also not immune anymore. So I believe the challenge is to get the whole family vaccinated. It is our only ticket to the lifting of most of the restrictions that currently holds us. Nang boleh-boleh lebu, say koe na nonra wakaun getinay tambangone. Na dhoropo ngone leo bakitin kawalu lakotake, mera taura na ithula ni tatangumaki. Not only the younger generation, but the whole family, if can.
Vinaka. Na davana numuni baka sala veira rende tikum baka veir na nonra ngole ani mera le zula sera le vaccinate taki.
Okila ni lebuna rorongo rongo dadhabuka tu nei talanoa kena bekai so rawani bakabuna na nonda rere bakabuna na nonda senganindo Waqa na ka karatukuna na kenan daw ira na tambana nimbula na kasaranga na rawani buke kenda na rawani tango maki kenda. Eu sa turuoti na nongku izula rua. Awa thula na Pfizer na wula rua sauti. Aseng sujisara ni ubarongo da lebuna ka senero rongo na talanoa ka rongo tu membaleta na izula se na vaccination na wedi mate and isulibe kenda me tatarobi ni mationgo ia au sanganga meu bakaithora enduna ka kaukilani sianga walanga ni bukeki na nongumbula ena bukena nongumata vale ena bukea na banua benga radikina ena lotu e kornibuli ena bewekani raramba ena bukea talenga na nongui tutunga wakaleo nindua na matinitu or citizen of this country, and especially here in Sydney, in New South Wales, where it's really just the numbers are just growing day by day.
Thank you. And for those that are wondering what I've just asked, Taltal, I was asking in terms of those that are perhaps hesitant for vaccination, what would be her encouragement or advice for them? And sorry, did you want to answer that in English or respond to that, or?
Okay, I'm quite happy to do that. I think as a good citizen, it is quite important for us to adhere to the medical advice and not listen to the other voices that seem to take hold of our attention more so nowadays than before. And so it then frightens us, or it actually gives us a sense of not being sure whether it is good for us or not. One of the biblical stories is, or a saying is that you need to love your neighbors just as you love yourself. And that's part of the Christian scriptures, which I think as a good citizen, to love our neighbors as ourselves is to actually comply to some of the medical rules and regulations, some of the instructions given to us, so we may follow for the safety of not only ourselves, our family members, of our communities, but society as a whole.
Thank
so
you.
adhering to the rules and, you know, and things that, and the instructions that's given to us to save lives.
Thank you. Now on to one of the concerns that, especially in the multicultural Pacifica and Fijian community, is those that are undocumented. And in terms of, which is a question that has been raised, and I've raised myself, as far as ensuring that information is not only getting to them, but that there is a solution, especially if they are concerned, and that's their hesitancy is with getting tested or with getting vaccination. So that is definitely one area that is of concern. And did you want to respond to that? I do have some answers to that, but I wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted to respond to that.
Sevu, can you just repeat the question for me, please?
Sure. The one of the concerns, especially in these COVID times, is with the restrictions and so forth, with getting tested and also vaccination, are those that do not have the documentation to be working, and also they may not have Medicare, and what happens to them? Yes, so would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I think as a community, we have some kind of responsibility to help our fellow Fijians to receive the vaccination if they wish to. And so in households perhaps that they're staying in, or in with friends or family, the Waqas, as we call them, who are nearby. I think it's really important. There are sometimes, many times, I have to say, is that we have an element of shame when it comes to that. This is no time to be ashamed whether you've got your papers or not, whether you are of resident or not. There are people and leaders in our community, in different, we have our religious leaders, for example. We have some of the good communities that we have within our communities, groups, old scholars associations that we have, our Vanua association that we have around the different parts of the country. These are places that or that people can tap into to be able to be helped and assisted so that they can actually receive the vaccination and get tested. I personally have helped out quite a lot of people in our community, especially here in Sydney, who are looking for that. And I can tell you that for most of them, the fact that they don't have Medicare didn't matter. They
Great.
can still have they can still have the test, or they can also have the injections. And I'm quite
Wonderful.
happy to help out if people want to reach out.
Fantastic. So for those that are listening, I just want to reiterate that message that Talatala has just given, which is that those that do not have Medicare or don't have the right to work, suppose you can call that undocumented, during this time, you have access to the tests, and you have access to the vaccination, and you do not require to have a Medicare card. You can just bring in a form of identification, and you can go into one of the federal or state vaccination centers, walk-in centers, and they will give you the vaccination, or they will also for you to be able to do your test. So don't be hesitant or be concerned or worried that that you don't have the necessary papers, because you can still go and receive those services at this time. And as Talatala was also saying, is that she's helped many of ours who required assistance, and she's also willing to do that. So we will provide her contact details for those of you that require it. Please send us a message into our inbox, and we're happy to pass that on to Talatala to be able to help you. And also on that, Talatala is obviously, when it comes to interpretation, she used to be the radio announcer for the Fijian program. And so in terms of that work, and this is her field, and we are more than happy to be able to assist as far as if there are any concerns from our people. And Talatala, is there any other advice that you would like to give to our community at this time, and perhaps a word of encouragement, given that we are in this strict lockdown now, and we will be in this until we reach certain milestones of vaccination as being announced, and also reduction in numbers of infection. So, there's a lot of concerns around mental health and relationships and being closed in together. I wonder if you'd like to just speak to that, please.
Vinaka Sevu. As mentioned earlier, I currently work in an independent school, and I have to admit that the breadth of suffering and anxiety, not only with our younger generation, but around the world, caused by this pandemic is quite frightening. Right. Personal and global stories of suffering, especially beyond the main news headlines that we hear every day. These are difficult days and definitely challenging times. We live in a hurting world, not only of the pandemic, but environmental catastrophe that we continue to see around us. The combination of all sorts of issues, and these major issues, is affecting our lives and our world. As a pastoral carer, I can only say and encourage you all to do some of the following. I encourage you to monitor and follow the health guidelines that's given to us on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis. I encourage you to show up for people and visit them by using your gadgets. We're on a lockdown, we can't visit, we are limited that way, but you have your phones, your iPads, Messenger, social media, whatever you may use to reach people. Find ways to make community, and pray for the world, pray for others and ourselves. The day that we had the big protest that recently took place here in Sydney and some parts of Australia, that was the day I received my second jab of Pfizer. And it would have served a great reminder to the public of the importance of receiving the vaccination and modeling a responsible and respectful citizen of this country, as I was saying earlier. Look, I am certainly empathetic to the frustrations and panic and pain that people might have. And look, I totally understand. I have two sons that are both tradies in the construction world, but I would also wish to emphasize the importance of doing the right thing to protect ourselves and our loved ones. For this virus is deadly and it does not discriminate. Usaba ka mamasok ti kinaway kemunin ng nonda, ni alololoma, ni baka muria baka binaka, katalay rawa-rawa, kinabay laway so, sambiu tamay na non tamatitu, kinatambanan nimpula, menta bakamuria. Minta bakamuria bakabinaka, and na rawa ningay the raven nampula, kay na kenali subitale, na non da bula makawa, kanda kilato manda. Pinaka.
Vini. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight, and God bless.
Thank you.
I'll stop the recording.
For doing that, and such a beautiful interview, I was saying. Thank you so much for sharing. And Reverend Ravetali, such a beautiful nature, and thanks to her for coming on and sharing her views, about, what she's seeing in the community, but also sharing her concerns for her family and the community, that she's pledged to serve. So I truly appreciate, and Sevu as well. And, we thank her for sharing. You can really feel the genuine concern for the community coming through when she's speaking, So thank you so much. And good to hear that verse, that Bible verse that she referred to about, loving your neighbor and loving yourself. So, Sev, you may know the verse. I can't remember the verse, but I remember the words from the Bible about loving thy neighbor as you love yourself. And she's coming from that angle as well. And, I'm mindful of comments, some people are going to be against the vax and others are going to support. Our role here is to share information, and it's always up to the individual to make their decision. And, I've got a very extended family with very diverse opinions about getting vaccinated. When they ask me, I say, I'm getting vaccinated. I'm making sure that, the vulnerable in my family are getting vaccinated by choice. They're choosing to as well, and getting advice from their doctors. And I say, look, do your research and speak to your GP. Your GP knows your situation. So do what's best for you, and your family and your loved ones. But thank you to Reverend Ravetali, and I respect the comments in our box, in our inbox, but also in the comments section here. So thank you, for sharing that, and we'll be respectful of everyone's views and their opinions. End of the day, we've got to stay healthy, Oh, thank you, Kave. Mark 12:31. I'll look that one up again today. But yep, such a beautiful reminder about our responsibility to care for us. And like she was saying, we're a collectivist community. So it's never just about us. It's always about how things impact the others around us. But yeah, talking about how things impact, one of the things Reverend Ravetali mentioned was, our mental health also, and Sevu mentioned. So on our Fiji Day page, I've posted up the lifeline number, 131114, because now more than ever, people are feeling the impacts of the pandemic. And it's okay to reach out to family, friends. Sometimes we want to talk to someone that we don't know, to share what we're going through. So feel free. You can always message us as well, and we can refer and link you to that. Sevu, are you there? I can't see you on my screen, sorry.
Can you see me now?
I can. Yes, you're looking grand there. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we can't share screens as we have done before. So that's one of the glitches that we're having. So we'll just point the camera to whoever is speaking. Yeah.
Glitch.
Yes. So no, that's really interesting, the conversation. And as Trey mentioned, we just want to share the information and give platform to leaders, pastors such as Vini or Reverend Vini, to come on and to speak to the community as well. As she's mentioned, she's also the the chair of the Uniting Church multicultural side. So it's great to hear from her. Now, Trey, what are you doing as far as, we're in this lockdown, we can't really do very much. As far as exercise, what are you doing?
Oh, not sleeping. Sorry. Sleep is important though. It's all part of the staying healthy process. I'm currently isolating because I was a close contact at one of my jobs. So my exercise is in my small space. I can't go outside, and I just have the yoga mat out and do my exercises. So when I can go outside, I make sure I go for a walk. I know a lot of us are in the LGAs where we can only go outside for 1 hour for exercise. So when I can go out, I go and walk around the neighborhood, do my exercises, and then come back. But also, just eating well as well. How's your exercise going, Sev? You're in a different LGA, so you get to go out and exercise as well, which I know you've been keeping up with.
Yes, I certainly try to take care of my physical health. So every day I make sure I'm getting sunshine, I'm getting fresh air. I do about somewhere between 5 to 10 kilometer run.
Wow.
Every day if possible.
Wow.
And try to eat healthy. I haven't been able to, of course, be with friends or family as well, and because I live alone, I haven't really seen anyone but one 2 weeks ago. So other than that, over 2 months, I haven't really seen anyone except taking mom to support her to go and see her doctors and so forth. But that's what I've been doing. And also taking care of my mental health, so that's important for everyone. Stressed out and having to deal with all this lockdown. So it's important to take care of your mind. So I do a lot of meditation and prayer. I don't watch as much television. I'm very selective about what I hear, and just try to keep up with the 11 a.m. report for New South Wales. Yes. So I just want to say hello to some of the listeners that have come on. I want to say a big vinanadola to my Nene Livia. I'm glad that she's enjoying the conversation, as she's mentioned on the messages. Talavina Livia. And also, just Tia was mentioning before. Oh, okay. Sorry, you were replying to one of the comments on there. So can you put in the comments as to how are you taking care of yourself, where you're listening in from, and what are you doing as far as keeping healthy, keeping well? What sort of practices? All the way from Canberra, Fiji, we have Tura Lewai, Nimbulavinaka Tau. He looks like he just came back from a swim. Okay, is that me? I'm
Yes.
a fish, Tura. I'm a fish. We want to say a big kia ora and to Mel. Thank you, Mel, for tuning in. Mel, want to hear your perspective as well in your work, especially in your community work. So looking forward to having Mel with us next week. I haven't asked her yet, but Mel, it would be great, especially with all the work that Mel is doing, which is really about getting food out to about 500 families, I believe, in her community, Trey. And she's had the her volunteers, she was mentioning they couldn't come and help her because of obviously all the restrictions. So she had the military there to help out with getting the food out to 500 families, which is just tremendous. And it'll be wonderful to hear of the work that she's doing out in the, what's that? That would be Campbelltown area. Is that
Southwest?
Southwest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's good to see Kave doing his Tai Chi, and
Wow.
Tia's mentioning that she's what are you doing for exercise, Tia? I'll bring you on board again, Trey.
We should have Kave come on one of the sessions and share about his Tai Chi, and also he's got a lot of information to share. Let's say
Definitely.
Tia, and then we'll get Tia on. Tia's watching in from East Arnhem Land, God's country, Northern Territory. You are such a blessing, but we'll have to have Tia in as well, Sev, to share her about the wonderful work she's doing up north. We miss you dearly. She said she's playing with crocodiles. Wow, yes. Who can beat you?
Wow. Are they baby crocodiles or?
Yes.
I mean, are they big crocodiles?
Oh my gosh,
or you're talking about tiny crocodiles that you're wrestling?
Tia, you'll have to send a picture to us or a video. You can send a video of the crocodiles up there. Stay safe. Oh, not the two-legged ones. Okay, fair enough. Okay,
we're sorry.
Yeah, adding
we're
his
sorry.
Comment there.
Nothing fancy, just Tai Chi.
But
well, we're
that's
sorry
great.
that we. Sorry, Trey.
No, I'm just saying. Kave is saying he's on YouTube. I mean, we've got time, we've got internet, right? So we can learn a lot of things. But good, Kave is doing Tai Chi. I hear it's very relaxing for the mind and the body. That's where I learn my exercises too, from YouTube. Tura as well has a comment there. Yes, my heart gets the exercise with the FF government. Yes, I could hear you. I understand that comment there.
Oh, Shiva's come on.
Oh yes, Shiva and Tia. Crocodile Dundee. I like that one. See, crocodile. Get it? As in Tia Rocco. That's a good one, Shiva. Okay, so.
No, just wanted to let you know, because of the glitches that we've had again today, I was hoping that last week was the rough run, and then today we'd have everything smooth. We'd have all the video clips. We're going to put in music at the beginning and at the end. But that's been unfortunate. So we're going to just try and keep it within the 60 minutes that we came on. So we will try and get everything fixed by next week, Trey?
Yes, we shall. You know, this is how it goes when you're doing live broadcasting and with new projects, and Sev and I are both learning the ropes as we go along. But hey, we're having fun in the process, and I'm glad you guys are working with us on this as well. And thank you for your feedback on what isn't working, what isn't, because we couldn't do it if no one was watching. So thank you so much.
Yes.
But Sev, one thing that Reverend Vini mentioned was about the undocumented, some of the community members that may not have Medicare. So on our Facebook page, I've posted up some links that they can go to help them if they want to go and get tested or get vaccinated. So they still have access to that. They just have to fill out some forms. So I've posted it up there. But I guess if anyone has any interest, they can message us and we'll try and find out more information for them. But the other thing was Red Cross. So we've posted this on our Fiji Day page. For those that are on temporary visas, there's financial hardship payments. So we've posted that up there as well. And again,
great.
any charity or community organization will be able to help you fill this out. So if anyone needs access to these funds or the support, we're always sharing information on our Fiji Day page, but please feel free to message and we can try and link you to the correct people as well. And thank you to the churches, Sevu. You know, we've noticed all the churches that are really, you know, going out and doing work for the communities. I see CMF every Thursday. Also, Canterbury Church, I heard, was doing stuff, and the churches in Granville. So if people have information, they send it and we can share it as well. So it's good to see that, you know, we're all supporting each other in the community.
Yes. And also, Mel was mentioning to me today was the services that are available to local communities. So we'll make sure that we get some of that information out on the Fiji Day page as well, and we'll share it because it's really about accessing all these services and help, especially at this time. So we want to make sure that that we can provide all those information and resources that are available that people may not be aware of, and that they can share it with others that would find it useful. Trey, do you want to talk about the fundraiser? And since we've got Ula on as well, and then I'll tackle Atia's question after.
Yes, the Friends for Fiji fundraiser. So there's a page on Facebook as well called Friends for Fiji. So basically it's fundraising to buy care packs for families in Suva to Nosori corridor. So that's the ones that have been impacted by COVID in the red zone, they call it. And that will go to the Nisinu Social Services Organization, which Usaia Moli is a part of. He's on here. We're going to try and get him in to have a chat and just share the work that he's been doing. So the GoFundMe page is up, but there's also a concert that's happening September 3rd. So we encourage everyone, put it in your diary, September 3rd, 7 p.m. Get the family around, you know, your barbecue, get your yamgona ready, and we're going to have performances from Fiji and different information and videos and messages. So that's going to be for September 3rd, a free online concert, and it's to raise awareness about what's going on in Fiji. And with COVID, which, you know, most of us have families there that have been impacted. And so we're looking to share that information and raise funds that will go back to Usaia Moli and the volunteer team on the ground who are working with so many families, you know, in Suva. So we're looking forward to doing that. We do have Usaia that's on. So Usaia, if you're there, feel free to comment. We could try and get you on. So if you've got the link, feel free to jump in, Usaia, if you're up to it. But if not, if you're not ready for the public, that's fine as well. Your choice.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Trey. So just to respond to Tia's question, I believe that Kave has already responded. So for those families that are undocumented, the Red Cross and St. Vincent have funds that are available for that. So they should be able to access that. Oh, guess what, Trey?
Yeah.
Usa is on the line.
Oh, very good. I sent him.
So we're going to try and put him on, yeah? Let's see if
and while you get him on,
him.
I'll just to follow up with what Kave said, I've posted the Red Cross website on our Fiji Day page. So it's an emergency hardship payment to for those that are temporary visa holders or don't hold a valid visa and are in extreme financial hardship. So there's contact details there for New South Wales, actually for all states, but we've posted the link for New South Wales. I don't have information on the St. Vinny's one, so I'll follow that up as well. Thank you for sharing, Kaveh. And we've got
Yes, and
Usaia. Sorry?
If Kaveh could provide that. So he's posted as well on the feed. For anyone that needs groceries, hampers, please drop in a message to Sydney Radio Waqa. Auntie Grace is working Edison Road Community Centre in distributing hampers all over Sydney. Yes. Thank you for that, Kaveh. And we'll try and get Kaveh on as well in the coming weeks. So let's see if we can get Usa on and if he can hear us.
Moli naka Sev, moli naka Sev, moli naka Trey. I hope you can hear me.
Bola!
Yes, we can hear you. It's good to see you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're one
just a few
last
minutes
minute
before
one.
finish.
Sorry?
Coming on just a few minutes to the Talanoa. It's about to finish.
Yes, well, you're the last minute one that's actually worked. So we're glad that we can actually get you on this evening. I'll get Trey on to ask you some questions and you can respond from there, Vinaka.
Naka.
Good to see you, Usa. Thank you for coming on. I know you've been very busy, so we appreciate you coming on. But tell us a bit about the work that you're doing, because we're doing this Friends for Fiji fundraiser and supporting that fundraiser. But tell us, how is it there? Where are you calling from? And tell us what it's like on the ground.
Mbulvinaka, everyone. Mbulvinaka, Sev, Trey. Thank you for having me on today. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Usaia Moli. I hail from Nukutodia, Loboni, in Ovalau, the old capital of Fiji. And I am currently, I wear a few hats, but for the Fiji Friends of Fiji fundraiser that is coming up, I am the president of the Nasinu District Council of Social Services. We are one of the 15 district councils that serves community around Fiji, and we are under the umbrella of the Fiji Council of Social Services, one of the oldest NGO here in the country as well. This year, we've been doing a lot of community work since last year when COVID hit. We are one of the 2 NGO that also sit at the NDMO. We're actually abided by the law in the district to be there during disaster, and we've been doing that as well. For those of you that have followed me last year, I was part of the first responders that went to Mbua as well. Here in Suva at the moment, first jab is at 92.6%, and the second jab is around 40.1, I think. It's going well. We're doing everything we can to support government in the effort to help a community. In Fiji, the word on the ground right now is the 360, which is the government thing last week, giving 360 to those that have got their jabs before the 7th of August. It's you can see in the community there's a lot of things happening, but we're asking community to remain vigilant and not to be complacent. You know how we are. Given an inch, we take a mile. And we're hoping that we remain vigilant We're up to 300 plus in terms of positive cases today. Even though the number is still high, it is a drop from a few weeks ago when we were reaching 1,000 per day as well. That's when we were the highest in the world per capita. But we're
Wow.
doing what we can. We just finished in the weekend 106 pack of food together with international needs. For those of you that also follow me on Facebook, Reverend is still going on. We had families that come home today to pick it up as well. And this afternoon, we just got back from delivering food with my wife. 30 packs every afternoon to those that are still living in the street. If we have leftovers, we usually take it to the police officers that are on our roadblocks as well. We're doing what we can to support whatever government's effort is doing. And on September the 3rd, you have an opportunity as well to support the Friends for Fiji fundraiser and letting you know that your donation will be put into good use. We have a lot of good people on the ground that are doing work. The district council itself, we have around 150 volunteers that are working around Fiji. But thank you very much for having me, Trey and Sevu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just so good to hear that things are starting to move along there. And as Usa mentioned, there is a Friends for Fiji GoFundMe that's been set up. And you could look it up on GoFundMe or also on the Fiji Day Sydney page. And Trey and I will just be sharing it right across. So there's a GoFundMe page. And then we're also having a concert that's happening in September that, it's about uplifting people and encouraging and try to look for positivity as we're moving into the future. Matangali, I just wanted to ask you, so now that you're reaching those numbers of vaccination, and obviously the numbers of cases are starting to drop. I remember when, as you mentioned, when they were in the 1,000 or over 1,000, now you're about a third of that. What is now the feeling on the ground and the mood of the people, I should say?
Well, for personally, I would like it, government is saying that they're wanting to open the borders by October. But, we want to open it. The best case scenario is, let's say, no positive cases for a month or two, just to be safe. That only one case has started all this to what it has become. On the ground, you see people starting to adapt as well, just like the good Reverend was saying earlier. Also here in Fiji, if you saw a few months back in G2, there was this big brawl that happened. If you go there today, there are 8 vegetable stalls right on those roads. Families in whatever money that they have, they're turning into small business. You can see on the road in every communities, there's vegetables, gardens everywhere. People are selling on the road as well. They're doing whatever they can in order to survive as well. We a lot of times we rely heavily on government, and that is something that is been an emerging issue here in Fiji for a while, the dependency culture. But we're trying to do away with all this in every program that we do, and this is the reason why I like the initiative by the Sydney DMC and the Fiji Friends for Fiji fundraiser doing all this where we showcase the good work that is happening here in Fiji, where people are adapting as well. There are good works that are happening. We need to highlight these stories to balance out a lot of negativity that come out of COVID as well. And we are
Right.
thankful that we've been given a platform to be able to raise these as well. We'll be highlighting those issues. I will be going around tomorrow and a few days to get stories that you'll be able to hear on the day that is September the 3rd of a lot of people, good people here in Fiji that are adapting to the situation that are happening on the ground. So a lot of positivity are happening apart from a lot of where we're still getting 300 plus people still lining up to be vaccinated as well. The 360 have came on last week. Our friend in Vunolevu will be getting it soon. But as I put it on Facebook, they're doing it alphabetic order, so the people from Zavu Zavu will be the last. So, but that is what's happening
Wow.
here in Fiji. So we are hoping also that with families and with young people, not to have a repeat of last week, where the 360 mostly has gone to a lot of these liquor shops and stuff. We have a lot of the police were busy in the weekend. That's what I can say. But it's during these times, there's a lot of it they on their mind. So given an opportunity, they went all out in the last weekend as well. Naka.
Pinakabakalevo. Patagal. Trey, did you want to ask a question or make a comment?
I think it's good to hear what's going on the ground. And, Usaia, I like how you mentioned about, the that dependency culture, So I know the work that you do, it's not just handing over the fish, you're also interested, sharing the skills, encouraging people to find the skills that they have, to help them be more sustainable with their incomes. So I really respect that you do that with the work that you do. And great to hear about is it the Chuta estate, how they've got the vegetable gardens, because that brawl that happened there went viral. So it's good to hear. And we know our young people, just need to be supported and shown different ways, that our young people are very resilient, a lot of knowledge, good energy. So, it's good that families have stepped in to help assist and, direct that energy into a positive direction. But there's a question from Kave about USAID, the seed and cuttings distribution. Are you running that with the work that you're doing when you're doing distributions?
Yes, we do with our second phase of distribution with International Needs Fiji. We were fortunate enough to be given seedlings by the ADRA, which is an NGO for the Seventh-day Adventist, and we distributed these to communities. It's been over a month now, and when we went back for our evaluations, we saw those seedlings have been put into good use. Gardens and beans and cabbages sprouting from all over the place. But then you still have people asking for seedlings as well. The price for seedlings have spiked up in the last few months, and you will always have people that are asking for more. At the same times, we've also helped a few community gardens as well. You must have heard of the settlements here in Nanuku. They've secured around 2 acres of land all the way in the Waila housing, and it's over a month now. At the second week, they managed to put down around $600 toppings. So we're trying to support them
Wow.
again with some seedlings as well for vegetables as well. Same thing is happening in Nandawa, where a lot of old men have taken up the Solwaki, showing the young ones how it's done, and they make use of the land that is there, and now a lot of the young people are following them as well. And the same with Nepani, they've had two groups of Solwaki happening, one for the elders and one for the young people as well. So yes, Kaveh, it is happening, and we look forward to any support. If it's seedlings, we very much we will take it from your hands as well, because there's people that are also needing that as well. We've taken even Kumala seedlings all the way to Rewa as well. And as we're heading into November, which is hurricane seasons, this is one of the times that we are doubling up on our program so that we're preparing for that as well. Banaka.
Banaka. Thank you so much, Usa. And, it's good to hear what's happening on the ground and that there's sustainable practices. Kaveh mentioned food security. We know that's important. And it's great to see that it's embedded in the work that you're doing, and we'll continue to speak with you offline as well and see how else we can support. But yeah, love the community garden that's sprouting in town, in Suva, and all the way up to Nosori as well. So thank you so much. I think that's it for Usa, so thank you so much. Over to you, Sevu.
Yes, Matangali, for all the great work that you're doing there, and it gives us an opportunity here to see what's happening, the grassroots type of initiatives and the community efforts that is going on, which is wonderful to see. And it's good to hear some positive news coming out of Fiji as well at this time. And looking forward to having you back on to give us an update and continue to update us leading up to the concert festival in the coming weeks. So what we wanted to do is to wrap up the show. We've already been on for over an hour, Trey.
Wow.
And I've just looked at the time, and it's over an hour. So we want to thank everyone for listening in. Please inbox us if you have any ideas of information that is out there, if you want to share, but also if there's anyone that you think that would be worthwhile, or a particular group that we should be looking at the work that they're doing, especially from a diaspora collective, and what we could do to support the efforts in Fiji. And also the aim of putting on this Talanoa series is to share stories, share information within our diaspora community. And so in the coming weeks, we'll be linking in with other Fiji communities around Australia and also around the world. We'll be connecting with them and hearing the news from their side, since we can't be there to see them in person, but we certainly can share each other's stories, find out what's going on, and be able to encourage one another during these times. Now, one of the things that we did mention was the Fijiana fundraiser. We were going to have that on tonight, but because of the technical issues that we've had, we'll save that for next week. So we'll be able to update you on the Fijiana GoFundMe. We'll try to get some of the group that took part in that. Hopefully, Tura will be willing to come on camera. And also, hopefully, we'll be able to get some of the players as well on. So we'll keep you posted on that, and hopefully we'll have that for you next week. So apologies that we could not get that to you this week, and also for the delayed part of the show. Trey, did you want to say anything?
Just shout out to Bernie who's tuned in. Thank you for watching, and also to Eddie. Thank you for watching in. It's good to see familiar faces there and to see the comments and the Talanoa. Like, we're having our own Talanoa Sev, and then there's other several chats happening in the comment section. So it's good to see.
Love it
as well.
Love it.
And yeah, next week we'll work to have, well, we'll do our best, but you know, these things happen with technical glitches, and we'll
Look
continue.
what happens.
See, out of the blue, it just works just like that.
So see, we couldn't get this happening before.
Oh my gosh, now we can see each other clearly.
Look, let's see if this is going to work. Look, the frames
Oh
work.
my, well, at least it's come on for the finale.
The frames friggin' work.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at Tia.
Now look at this. Look at this. Look at this fancy frame. All right, ready? Look at this. Look at that.
Wow, love it. And big
All
ups to
this
Shiva.
technology
Thank
didn't
you,
want to work.
Shiva.
Hmm?
Honestly, well, at least we know it works. We'll do a test again next week early.
Look.
But thank you. Beautiful.
Ah!
And I bet if we share screen, it's gonna work.
Can you believe this? This is what we couldn't do. None of it was
Tia's
working.
comment.
Okay, Valentina.
Yes, we hit the 60 minutes mark. Don't worry about the glitches from Kave.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kave, for supporting us.
Yes, thank you so
and
much.
Tia with her commentary, Vanaka, and managing the comment section. Thank you, Tia.
So we're hoping that next week everything will work. Please pray for us. And
God willing.
that the technology will do it. And we look forward. This has given me some peace right now, because we were rebooting all our computers. We rebooted ourselves. So for those of you that are still watching, cheers to you, Trey. We're ending on a good note.
Cheers.
And hopefully next week we'll be able to get all the guests on. We'll be able to, to give a good show next week. And we wanted to tune in with those from around Australia. We have an incredible work happening in Queensland in terms of migration and training for immigrants and those wanting to access services here to be able to gain their residency or citizenship. So we want to bring that as well in the coming weeks. The other one was Ellen Whippy, the Queen of Fashion. She's going to give us a little bit of what's going to be happening in the coming future. We want to sort of share the information of what we can to our community, but secondly, also look to the future and what's coming ahead and what's exciting to look forward to. So we want to start talking about what happens when the borders are open, when we're out of these lockdowns, and we can just encourage each other, because for some people this is a very hard and lonely time, and we're all going through this, if that gives you some comfort. Trey, I can't hear you.
There's a message here from Olivia who says, thank you, Sevu. She's cautious about her lifestyle, or he, sorry, or her, can correct me. 74, living in Guildford. 74, walks in the backyard, tries to exercise, 30 minutes treadmill. Now, this is inspiration for all of us. Vegetables, meat, only fish sometimes, 2 meals a day, lemon water, especially early in the morning. You see? Here we go, learning, from our elders, 74 years old in Guildford, taking care of themselves during the pandemic. For sharing that with us, Olivia.
That's my auntie, my beautiful auntie.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Love her.
Beautiful.
Maloma to you, Nene. Great that you're taking care of yourself, and I'm glad that you are well. And I look forward to seeing you soon, and we can do a bike ride. That's a private
Wow.
joke.
Okay.
Yes. My Nene taught me how to ride a bike.
Beautiful.
Yes. Well, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you on time next Monday at 7:30. We hope and pray that everything will work well, and we can only improve from here.
Yes. So check our Fiji Day Sydney page. Feel free to share the videos, and there's info on there that we talked about. Good to see you all. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Over and out.
Yes. God
Tai
bless
Chi
you.
with crocodiles.
Ni sa mode. Ni sa mode.
Naka,
Naka lewu.
mother.